Mhm.
All right, guys. Hello. How are you, Granny Caters, Grandpa Caters, family, and friends? We are here uh, today, and we've been here, what, almost 2 weeks?
Yep.
Almost
Almost.
2 weeks
Never been.
in the Gambia, West Africa. And so I just wanted to come on and let Brother Thompson share his experiences since he's been here, because he has not been here since 2016 with you guys. So I wanted him to come on and let him talk to you about his flight from going from Dulles to Morocco, how he liked the layover in Morocco, from Morocco to Dakar, from Dakar to Gambia, and then from there, we go from there. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, let me start off with it's been the whole trip so far has been wonderful. We started out from home, going to Dulles, train, Dulles. We flew, I guess, 4 or 5 hours to Morocco. Morocco, we had a layover, I guess, maybe 5, 6 hours, which was kind of interesting. They preferred us not to go into the city too far because traffic and the time really lapsed so fast, and we get stuck in traffic and miss our flight. So we had a nice time though. We were there for 6 hours. We got about pretty good. Met some people, fun, and from Morocco we had a flight to Dakar, Senegal, which was what I don't can't remember. It was 3 hours, maybe roughly
Mm-hmm.
3 hours by way of Royal Morocco Airlines, and we had a good time, good flight, good meals, everything was beautiful. It was my first time flying. It was an Air Royal Air
Air
Morocco,
Morocco. Oh, yeah.
Royal Air Morocco, my first time. But it was a wonderful meal and everything. Then we had from there we rode on into Senegal and got to Senegal that night. It was a little bit a lot more easier this time. The first time, was a little bit rough. We got there early in the morning. This time we got there kind of like 9 o'clock, I think, at night. So it was kind of nice. And then I was familiar with it. And the gentleman at Saks, he met us there. Got the hotel, we spent the night. And everything just got kind of familiar. Like I said, I came before. On more of a, there's more work the first time and less fun. But this time was more fun, less work, except for yesterday. But let me move on. We get to yesterday. Saturday. Anyway, we stayed a couple of days looking around at different areas. We stuck to our plan of searching for home. Found quite a few.
How would you tell them how your experience was looking
It
for a
was.
home?
It was very interesting because I didn't realize that Gambia. I knew it's surrounded by water, but I didn't know that a lot of the homes were just oceanfront, beachfront, and right on the Atlantic Ocean. Our friend Lyman sent us pictures of of the homes right on the ocean, and surprisingly, even if the price is, it's a lot less than there. You'd actually have to come here and see what you get, and it's unbelievable what you get compared to states, right on the water. And it depends on what you want. If you want size, if you want uh, a lot of the amenities, the more amenities, whatever. It depends on what you want. Me, I'm like, I want to enjoy myself, more or less, and still travel even though we're here and go to different places across the continent, Africa. And, so we're trying to find something that's reasonable at this point so we can enjoy life. We work 45, 50 years, close to 50, 45, 50 years, and retired, so we want to enjoy it. And then after that, we search for homes, and and me getting familiar with the area because the first trip, like I said, we were with a lot of friends. We had 4 or 5 people, others that came with us. We had to accommodate them. Tina had to make sure they were straight most of our trip first time. But this time we had more time for fun. So, we went to the what else we went to? Like a lot of the markets, a couple of markets, outdoor markets.
How was the restaurants?
Restaurants, we experienced like quite a few restaurants. I had to do a food tasting. The first time, I really couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. You know, I'm not gonna say where I went years ago, serving, but the whole tour duty and service, I did not eat. I pretty much out, and when I did, I got very sick. So that just stopped me from ever, eating out again. That was over 40 years ago. I had that experience. I got sick one time. So I never really ate without, my wife cooking or whatever. But this time we experienced, eating out and stuff. I told her I want to do the things, just the everyday things that I do back there. Exception of, just the norm, like the shop. I didn't think they had malls here. We were able to go to a couple malls. There are malls here. Very nice. And I had a question about driving here. That's a little tricky, but I'm pretty sure it'll be okay once I get drive. I prefer at the time up to now to just taxi our way or whatever. But most likely we're gonna bring our vehicle with us and just get in there. Just go for it. It's different, but once certain time after 5, everything's gone. No traffic. They built a new road. That's another difference that we experienced. But anyway, after most of the week, we looked around first for different things. We want to find out about the housing, where we're gonna live. We ended up going to the village yesterday, and that was the fun. That was kind of like different, but I hadn't seen them in 9 years in the village my wife adopted. We had a lot of fun out there. She put together a couple of activities, like she had a henna competition, first, second, third place prize. It was fun, for her. And I committed myself to helping the little guys, from maybe 2 years old on up. And I told her before when I said something, last time we get all the little guys around, the little boys looking around, they bored. So we came back this time, 9 years later, same thing, look bored. Different kids, but I said, but nobody really does things for the boys, or even the men at that. I saw a little boy, everybody getting on them for doing this, they were fighting and stuff. And I said, they're probably doing that because they don't have nothing to do. So I told T before we really got set up for activities and stuff. I said, a lot of little boys doing this. I told her then, I said, I think I'm gonna get something for them kids to do, whether it's some basketball courts or soccer. As soon as I said that, I got here maybe 2 hours. Little kid about 4 years old. Said, can you get us some footballs? And football to them is not our football, it's soccer.
Yeah.
So I committed myself to getting some soccer balls, something that our kids just really, simple things that our kids take for granted. It can be really a big deal for them. They have nothing to do. So they sit around and get into it with each other and stuff. So man, I committed to getting, I'm not sure how many, but I'm just gonna get a whole a couple barrels full of them. So they can, and if I could get the sort of like talk to some of the builders, because they have the builders, they build really pretty good over here, like a little court, maybe a full court over here, because the little boys need something to do. So I'm working on that now, and also clothing for the men, because once we did a container before, we had a lot of clothes, we had a lot of things for women and young ladies, and little girls. Nothing for the boys out. So a couple of my friends
and nothing for the men.
No, I said men. I always said men. Yeah. Men and boys, they really don't get a whole lot. And they don't really can't use coats or winter stuff. A lot of people might throw in our first container, people threw coats. They don't really need coats like that. It gets cool like during rain season, but they really need like coats for men. But that's one thing I took upon myself to do. I talked to guys I used to work with, and they're kind of going to commit to send us some clothes once we get this container together to clothes. But it was fun. It was But I saw as far as the land, and I mean, it's just they call land here instead of acres, it's hectares. And I mean hectares upon a hectare. I mean, I've never seen so much land. Is when we go down south, Georgia, like we see land, but here it's just open land. You can get your house, get your land first, and then you can build your house as we plan on doing. Purchasing land first and build a house, take our time, and build. 'Cause I see some gorgeous homes. I mean, we shared some of the homes we saw uh, back.
Yeah.
We saw while we were here. One particular yesterday.
Yeah.
Beautiful home, and just take your time and build like that. But overall, it was a trip for me to remember because like I said, the first time I didn't really, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, but I said, let's go look at what you've been doing for 10 years. So this time I was really able to see, because like I said, the first time we had no time to do anything. Just every day was run. And we had a shorter trip the first time. But I told her this time let's do 2 weeks. And at first I said, we serious about 2 weeks, but guess what? 2 days, the day is 11, 12, yeah, the 12th day, I think.
Do you think 2 weeks is enough time to do house hunting?
If that's all you do, maybe. But in between, we did. No. Okay, what it is? Okay, what it is? Things are spread out. The kind of home that we like, a lot of them were spread out, but what I call it. It depends on what you want. Now, I prefer to be since my wife has a lot of business to take care of, whether it's banking or whatever it is, I prefer to be close. So a couple of areas we went were way out. I mean, when I say out. But guess what? Those were places where the homes were like bigger, much bigger. And I mean, four times less. What?
And affordable.
A quarter. I mean, I seen this gorgeous home. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was I could almost say it's close to a mansion, 2 levels. And it was roughly not even $700 a month. And I mean, but in the city, it might be an apartment that may be
2,000.
2,000 that we might, So it depends on what you want. You gotta see what you want. I think we're gonna kind of be in between. Not as far as out, but close enough.
Me, I want to be out. But he wants to be
closer.
In.
Not too far in, but convenience.
Yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with right now. We looked at enough homes at least to compare. We get back, we can compare, sit down and really take our time and compare. But the day, this is the day Sunday. Yesterday you see a lot of the photos and a lot of video that my wife took of the village, and that was fun. We were there all day. We left at 6 in the morning. We didn't get back to 9 at night. But it was a lot, and it meant a lot for them. If anytime you bring hope to somebody, it's good. That's what I think the Lord wants to do, just to bring hope. I've never been in that situation. I've always been blessed to have good family. My parents always took good care of me and my sister, and things that, even when we went down south for a while, we had relatives that really, we went in there for the summer. I've never had to go through certain things, but just to be able to give hope, like to someone else. And I always had coming up as a child, I can't complain one day about my life. But seeing with these kids that, the simple things like bikes. That's another thing, I challenge my wife about getting some bikes for these, kids. It's just something that our kids would never lack, would never have a need for. I got my first bike, I was probably 4 years old, 3, I don't even know. But the thing about it, these kids have never had a bike, a lot of them. And it's just something to help somebody up, lift somebody up, to give them hope. And that's what I think the Lord, like I said, wants us to do. I've never had to go through, I can't say anything, but my parents gave us a good life. And I realize that as I get older, because it went by time go fast. But sometimes you have to go somewhere else, maybe abroad, to see really how blessed you really are. Even as an adult, a lot of adults haven't experienced the things that we have experienced through our whole life, you know, and you understand that, but you realize how blessed you are, really. And then, like I said, today we supposed to go to the beach. That's something we supposed to be going last week, but we ain't have a chance. We've been so busy. But one of our friends, family, kids, we going to the beach this evening. But wait, I want to say that one of Tina's friends bought us dinner, and it was delicious. It was like my first dinner total. I guess what you call it, baby. Local. I mean, no, not local, but uh, what I say, African meal.
A local dish.
Local dish, right? Local
Yeah.
dish, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It's benching because she knows normally I don't eat nothing but pretty much her cooking, But this was delicious. The chicken, it's called benching. It's this rice, carrots, cassava. What else was there? I mean,
eggplant.
Eggplant. Eggplant. And then spices. Few spices I told them. That's why my science giving that open me up. It's still good though. Because the one thing that I this time we came the same time. This time 9 years ago, but my sinuses, man, from the time I got off plane, woo. But this time, I was pretty much equipped. I had my little the proper stuff I need to keep them down to really. If I had problems with them, I have these stuff I got from the doctor that helped me deal with that. But that it was good. The day we supposed to go to the beach, spend a couple hours at the beach. But I had a good time. My wife, it took me 20 years, but like I say, I had to come when I'm ready to come. My spirit say, God, I can't do anything unless my spirit is with it. She like, no, I'm not ready, I'm not going, I'm not this. That. But I can say this, she gave me my room, gave me my space. Because I'm not that person. I say I don't like it, guess what? I don't like it. And I'm not gonna lie. It's the same with anything else. With people. I say, look, bro, let's just back off. All right, this is the way. Anybody know me? I don't really do no nonsense stuff, man. Trying to straightforward. Even my wife. So she'll say, it took you 20 years, but at least I'm here. You rather for me to come and didn't want to, but have been miserable for both of us. A lot of people do it. A lot of people leave. A lot of couples even break up for that. Whatever you do as a couple, you have to give that person their honest opinion, their honest feel, their whatever honest space. Once she gave me space, after the first time I came, she gave me space. I said, "Give me space. Let me come to myself." I didn't come from that, but the whole time I was like weighing stuff out, weighing out. When is the best time? And I did a whole lot of praying. Anybody know me? I'm praying about everything. They say you pray about everything. I said, yeah, I have to, man, because I don't get the answer that especially if I don't get the answer I want or I'm unsure. But everybody's different. Everybody, I'm not trying to. I'm not like anybody else. I don't want nobody to be like me. And I say that about anything. Be yourself. Express yourself. Because I can't think of no other way. But she gave me my space those 9 years after I came the first time. She backed off and let me think about things and all of that, get things in order, kind of like financially, because it's a lot, you can do over here. A lot financially you can do, you can, like I said, everything is cheaper, but you just have to do things in order. You can't come over here without, just come over here like that. So preparation. So you got if you come from a house and you got this and that, you have to figure out how you're gonna handle it. You're gonna bring it. I mean, some of the furnished places were really nice. You don't even need furniture. And I heard a lot of couples said they got rid of their furniture, sold whatever they did with it. And I talked to a couple of American couples here. They said, yeah, we just got rid of everything, because it's the same thing. And it's just a lot of burden because if you move from one area down the road to another while you're over here, that's an expense, but a lot of places are furnished. So I mean, at this age now, like I said, we just want to travel. Even though we come here, we still want to travel. Travel abroad, maybe we're gonna be, back and forth. Like families and stuff. We got 15 grandkids, so and I got a sister, then has three sisters and brother. So got my mother-in-law, my father, my dad. Of course, we're gonna be back. Hopefully, I get some of my family to come over on a visitation, and just to get away. Because this is like most people haven't even heard of this little place. It's the smallest country. But for a person retired, at our age, uh, it's kind of mellow. And I'm gonna tell you, the first few days, I slept for 9 hours. Might have been 10. Anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. That's how relaxed sleeping was. I thought something was wrong, when you sleep that long because I can operate off of 3 or 4 hours. I've never slept and relaxed and peaceful. One of my buddies, childhood friend, looked at me and said, "Man, I noticed something different." He said, "I know something different about you." He said, "Man, you seem like you're at peace." And I told him, I said, "I've been knowing this guy for well over 55 years." And I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "Man, I found out, man, I can really rest." And everybody used to tell me, "Man, you're not gonna make it sleeping off 3 or 4 hours." But I could never do it. But I came in the first day I slept about 10 hours. Next day about 9, 10 hours. Every day I was sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours. Till we really start getting busy looking at places to live. But I mean, I didn't understand it at first. But I guess uh, just being able to relax, you know, to relax and stuff, and not get up work and stuff. I guess that was part of it too. Because like I said, back when we grew up, our parents said, "We're gonna do something." So 14, 15, 16, we're going to work. So that's what I've been doing ever since. Ever since we didn't have parents that just let us sleep all day. We didn't have what they call them, gamers, whatever.
Yeah.
We didn't have all that, So I've been going ever since then, ever since, and came
Now
here.
kick back and enjoy.
Yep, just relax. If you don't want to do nothing, it's just, it was weird. It was very weird to be able to sleep for 9 hours. Never in my life, I can't remember last time. I can't remember. It's just my mind was just so at peace, And like I say, with 2 more days to go, I really enjoy myself. Enjoying because we still have a couple days left, But once we check in and stuff, I'm sure people will have to find out for themselves how it really is, how it really is. I'm just talking to you, giving you my side. And my wife, I know she has her side. She's been coming 20 years, back and forth. So she has a whole lot to say. The same thing she told me, about the peace and stuff she found. And I was like, "What peace? What peace you gonna find over there and this and that?" I questioned it for 10 years before I came in. 10 years, 10 more years elapsed. Doing those latter 10 years, I was able to, kind of like think about it. And when I got here, hey, I was able to find out for myself. Yep.
Okay, we have one of my adopted family members here in the chat, and he says his name is Cindy, and he is the secretary for Global Mission Society, my nonprofit over here in the Gambia, and he says my mom and daddy are enjoying the stay in the Gambia, and also he was sharing with everyone that we had a nice trip to Jufre. Yes, we did. We had a wonderful trip. It was good to see Omar Tall's mom, who is my cousin. They're my cousins. Um, she's still in great spirits and good health, thank God. And my other cousin, Katie, we're basically, but our American accent is we say Katie. Um, who else was there? I didn't see Mariama, but normally see her, but she wasn't there. Uh, so, but yeah, and Maimona, we call her Mai, and uh, who else? our journalist friend, my John, and our driver. What was our driver's name? We had to give him a shout out.
Oh man, it wasn't Fred. No,
Oh,
Esau, something like that. Esau. I think it was Esau. I got his
was
number.
it Irama? Or not Irama?
I think it
We
was
go. We'll put it in the comments.
the same guy. The same guy.
Right. It was wild.
9 years to the day.
Yes. Our driver ended up being the same driver we had in, was it 2016?
2016.
2016. He came and picked us up.
Hundreds of drivers.
Yes, we ended up with the same driver that picked us up. Man, and he remembered us immediately. That was so wild. And so he said, "Yeah, I remember you. You gave me your business card." I was like, "Wow." Yep. I said, "That I did." But yeah, so, and man, that's what's so it's so refreshing when you come over here, is that that they remember you. You're just not a number, or some random person or whatever. People care about you, and they take friendships and relationships seriously. How was it meeting Cynthia and Rick of Black Acres of the Gambia?
Right, that was kind of like one of the highlights. We've been following that couple for at least since COVID, right during COVID, matter of fact, for at least 5 years. Then, yeah, we following them. And my wife, she came 2 years ago to their what was it? To their what they call
their
it?
compound,
Their compound, right?
Gambia.
Black Acres of the Gambia. They on YouTube. They have a heavy following. It's going to YouTube to Black Acres of the Gambia, and they have a heavy following. We watching people come and come to the compound and talk and things, and it was experience, and they're just the way they are. They're genuine people. I love a couple, and they been here for at least almost 10 years, right? They've been living here about 2 years, almost since 15, 16, something like that. They've been here for a while. Been for a while
now, so yeah.
Yeah, it was a blessing, an honor, plus a blessing to meet them. I call them celebrities. They were like, no, don't call us celebrities.
They celebrities to us.
Yeah.
Pioneers
Yeah,
for the movement.
They've been on for a while, and we stay for hours. I mean, once we clicked like right away. There's a couple all four of us. It was a click, man. We stayed so long. I know.
Yeah.
But we had to get out of there because it was they had things to do. They had stuff to do on the compound, and we had to get back. It's a long ride. It was like
out there in C4.
Yeah, C4. Yeah. It was at least what? About
45 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
45.
Yeah, okay, it seemed proper.
Yeah.
We got stuck a little. We had to go in they're deep. The car we were in wasn't 4-wheel drive, so they had to get a different route. We had to go a different route, but it was a challenge, but it was fun.
Yeah, and they definitely, as a down to earth couple, we love down to earth people.
Yep.
And that they are. They're down to earth, genuinely good hearted, good spirited people. Yes. So thank God we got to meet them. And my husband got to, well, I already met them 2 years ago, but my husband got to meet them. I told him I've been praying and then look, and pushing the videos in his face and trying to make him look. And you got to go meet him. He's former military like you, and blah, blah, blah. And so finally we got him there. It took a while, but we got him there. So, so it was the food, the travel that you like, whatever. We haven't driven yet, so we have to get that experience, and house hunting.
Yeah, pretty much, we still have a few areas to look at, but at least we know what we have, what we want. That's the main thing. Compare, to what we want to do. But ultimately, we want to build our own. Get the land, then build it. That's the ultimate.
Yeah. So I think pretty much. I think that's pretty much Let me see.
Did you talk about your projects a little bit that you're doing in the village? Did you talk? You already talked about that?
Um,
I think you probably. I think you did.
yeah, I touched based on my
Your
nonprofit.
intentions in the future.
Yeah, what we're gonna be doing and everything. So yeah, we just right now we're putting things in motion. I'll be showing you um I'll be showing you basically as we go along what we're doing. And yeah, um so we talk about, yeah, I'm just looking at our notes. Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's it. Our charity, our worshiping, dining, travel. That was good.
Yeah,
You
I'll
had
tell
something?
you, my service experience, we knew the pastor already. We had a joyous time in fellowshipping with Pastor Manson and Christian, what's the name of it?
Christ Alone
Christ
Church,
Alone Church, yeah.
located right here in Senegambia.
Yeah, not too far from where we staying. Yeah.
Yeah. So worship experience. The music is
Mm-hmm.
good. In fact, I'm gonna post his sermon up
Yeah.
on my page,
Yeah.
so you all will be able to get a taste of um, the
Worship.
Word of God, the worship service, the worship type of service here in the Gambia. Just in case you're concerned about how will you worship if you decide to leave. Um, the dining, I'm going to post some restaurants where we ate,
Yeah.
and I'm taking pictures of food. I'm trying to put that together for the food so you guys can see what the food looks like and everything. And of course, we're gonna. I put out some with one of the beaches and as a matter of fact, you all can go and look at what was it? Our visit to Tamala Beach Resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they had a brunch.
Sunday.
We ate there uh, at the resort, and that was a fabulous buffet and live music. So yeah, so far as like are they going to have entertainment? And see, that was one of his major questions and things like that. Once we moved here, what's there to do is nothing. Is not going to be nothing to do. And so um, he was pleasantly surprised when we went to Tamala Beach Resort and they had live music and very nice live music, and the food was delicious. They had a buffet, and man, right on the ocean, man, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was real nice. It was real nice.
Yeah.
So those that they were checking off his boxes right there. And then, like I said, he see the houses. Um, we still haven't made like the final decision on where we're living, but we had to come over and like start looking and seeing where exactly we want to be. So yeah, that's kind of still up in the air. We gotta when we go home, we're gonna look at the videos and keep looking at the videos and then see, you know,
Mhm.
where the spirit's leading us. And we might I might have to come back a second time. I told my husband we might have to come back a second time to take a little bit more because he didn't realize that Gambia was as big as it is. Even though it's the smallest country on the continent, it still got some size to it. So
last night we came to this one spot. I guess it was Westfield.
Westfield and Syracuse.
It was like New York, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like a New York.
A mini New York, y'all. A mini New York.
Mini New York, yeah. But I'm saying that the first time I thought it was just mostly like country. They had a few spots, but it's huge. It's 100 times bigger than I thought it was. The first time was, we spent 3 days, our first 3 days in Senegal, because we had an honor ride. We had to wait for them to get here, and it was. There was a lot of us that came the first time, so we didn't have enough time. We didn't have a lot of time to spend, and we were busy. But it's big, it's huge. It's huge for those that may be interested in visiting for a change up rather than going to the Caribbean or somewhere. You may want to come here and check it out. So they have a nightlife. They have whatever you need. I mean, seriously.
They do.
They
They
know I'm,
do.
I'm not really into that, but they have one for those for the younger people, young crowd
Mhm.
that want to.
They do have a big club. I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
But they do have a big club for the young folks.
Yes.
Little small club. And then they got the little jazz club, and
Mhm.
right there on the strip. The strip puts me in the mind of Ocean City.
Yeah.
A little strip where they have like the little bars and restaurants you can just kind of walk to,
Yeah.
and like the little like extended stay hotels, and stuff like that. So they have things for you to get into. Gambia basically is for like retirement and young folks who don't have to be like like wide open. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
More subdued young folks.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, it's a very 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 nice place to be. And then safe, and you feel safe. You know.
That's why another reason why you can really rest and relax. Is you just feel safe. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, you can't come up here thinking that this won't happen. You still have to have your guards up. Like one African brother said, he said, no, "What do you do in the United States? Do you walk around with your phone all out and like just carelessly? Same thing that you do there. You have to practice as normal, but it's a different norm. You know what I'm saying? It's a different norm. I'm just telling you, it's a different norm. It was for me because like I told you before, I never was able to sleep 9, 10 hours a day. And that's why it's less time to do things because I'm resting more, relaxed more. But working every day and this and that. And not only that, before then, we raised six kids. And I mean, you know, uh, I didn't know how to rest because raising kids and stuff, early part of our marriage, our time was devoted to our family. From that, once everybody, pretty much left, it took years, uh, I guess you have to experience yourself. You may not want to rest because there are things to do. But me, I rest. I rest and rest. That's just me because I didn't have to get up. No reason to get up, early. Getting up the last couple of years I've been working at 12 midnight till 8:30, sometimes 10:30, whatever. Mm-hmm. So my whole time is out of order, out of line. So doing that. My lunch dinner was 3 in the morning for many years. So maybe that's why I rested so much. But I think that basically there was nothing in the air worrying me or anything like that. It's a sense of peace. Silence. I mean, right now it's 4 o'clock. You can't even hear a pin drop at 4 o'clock. And we're right in let me see what I can say. We're not too far off of the main highway or the areas that are kind of busy. Yeah. You get the occasional horn, but we can't hear it. It's just it's like this every day. Yeah. It's like this every day. It's unbelievable until you see it, find out for yourself.
Okay, we have another comment. Hi, Modulaman Blackman. Okay, he says, hi, fam. The Gambia is the smallest in the mainland Africa and the seventh in the entire Africa. Yes, because I am aware of with the Sao Tome and some of the
Mauritius,
and the little small islands like that sit out right there in the ocean. So I am aware because I've been to Cape Verde. So yes, you are correct. Thank you so much for tuning into our channel. Please subscribe. Please share our channel. We're trying to grow. If we can get monetized, that means I could, do my mission work more expeditiously. And so we're trying to get monetized. So if you could just like share our videos and subscribe to our channel to help us out. That would really help us greatly because the women in Jufre, they really, 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 really need a fence. When y'all see the pictures that we're gonna post up from them doing like the wood and using cloth and everything, trying to keep the animals out on there.
Kind of saying.
Yeah.
And we saw another what is it? I don't know what to call it. NGO. No problem. Action Aid. Yeah, they had it together.
Action Aid, but they're powered by some Italian. They're sponsored by some Italians, and they were able to, on that particular community, that was a community garden,
right?
And they were able to they fenced their stuff and
right,
yeah, and then they put a borehole and everything up like that. So we kind of took pictures of that to show everybody that's like following us what that looks like, and that's what we're trying to raise money for the women over in Jufre, you know, for their fence and stuff. So yeah, so we're trying to get monetized so that, you know, we can have that monies to go towards the mission work that I'm doing. So yeah, so please subscribe and share our channel with you know, the local Gambians, or if you Gambian and abroad, or yeah, please just subscribe to our channel and stuff so that we can help our brothers and sisters and family members up in Jufre Village. Yeah. So anything else?
No, that's it.
Yes, y'all can see the smile on my face, right? Because I am so happy and delighted and elated that I finally got him here. It's been a long time coming. I knew he was gonna come. I just didn't know it was gonna take this long, but I'm glad he is finally here. He finally heard me. So we're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna end our life because we're going out with our friends and family. I'm gonna call. I gotta call some more friends because they're gonna beat me up because I haven't seen him since I've been here, and invite them out to the beach to meet us at the beach. Mm-hmm. So you guys will see some pictures and videos that we come up. Y'all, the net kind of slow here with downloading or uploading rather. So by the time y'all see some of this stuff, we'll probably be back in the States.
Take days.
Take days. Oh Lord. But yeah, we have plenty of videos and things like that we're trying to upload to the channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for us to share with you guys. So y'all, and for our friends, what you want to tell them, babe?
Who's that?
To our friends in the States.
Well,
do you want to invite them here?
Once we sell them, we love for a couple of my buddies already said they were gonna come. You know, just from seeing how happy I was, you know, and telling them how it is over here. And a lot of them just need a break, you know, just to take the mind off of things, you know, that's going on right now. You know, a lot of people stress and stuff. You know, I'm going to invite every friends, family, and you know, anybody that want to come. Grandkids.
And what did you say about business opportunities?
Oh, there's a business, but you have to come here. That's the first thing, because you can't really work here, so you have to think of a business that you can do just like you would in the States, because you can do it here. Except for the space is a lot cheaper.
I kept telling him, he's like, no, there ain't no business opportunities. I'm like, okay.
But you got to come with a business. You know, there's no job. You can't work. There's no way you're not going to work over here. You know what I mean? You could, but I mean, because you have like DHL, Federal Express.
Yeah, DHL. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a business person, you know, there's an opportunity for you to do, you know. So,
and you have import export trading, you know, because they have a big, nice size port, you know, so import export, you want to bring goods in or ship goods out, you know, that's a good business to go into. They have hair salons everywhere, but it's a lot of people here, and it's for plenty of room. You know, it's not oversaturated like it is, you know, in the States, where like a salon in every block or 5 salons in every block.
If you come with business, come with open mind. You
Yeah.
know, you can't. You know, I just say come with open mind. And once you get here, then you can really assess for yourself what can work. You know, and that only you know that. But you have, you know, once you visit and like I did, like I said, I wasn't coming back. But like I said, I came back the second trip, changed my mind. You know, you come here and make an assessment of what you can, what you can't do. I wouldn't just move my business over. I come over and, you know, look at things, you know, and see what that you may have to do different, you know, because you may have to. You know, the states you can relocate place to place and this, that, but here, you know, you have to depend on what kind of business you want to, you know.
Yeah.
But check it out,
Yeah.
you know, for yourself.
So, with that being said, guys, we're going to end this live and we're going to go check out some more folks' businesses today at the beach. Okay? All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning
Thank
in.
you.
Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The